Right, so we've not looked at Vechain for a few days now, and I think we've got a little bit of price action which we need to really take a look at. We have pretty much rejected off that area of resistance up here at around 14.5 cent. We are coming down currently at a level of support at top of that previous Fibonacci level. Throughout this video, we're going to take a look at some key levels where we could invest if the prices continue down, and then we'll have a look at a few areas of resistance on the way up and a few key indicators which I think could play a vital part in some price action. If you're new to this channel, then please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and let's crack on. So, starting off with the USDT pair, the daily time frame, this is a Binance chart. As we can see, we have had that high up there of 27, call it 28 cent, and then we've had a rejection ever since. I mean, what I did notice earlier on, if you're looking at this entire move here, that was the downtrend. We was actually in a falling wedge, which we've actually broke to the upside, which you would have expected at some point. That drop could have not just kept going and going, because I mean, how much did we do? I think it was one of the biggest retracements across the board. We dropped all the way from down to the bottom, which was a 81% drop. That's crazy when fundamentally nothing's changed. The reason I believe it did drop so much was a lot of new investors were getting into Vechain, because over the course of, I mean, the last 8 to 10 months, a lot of new people came into the space up until April. And then they saw that the price were dropping, and because a lot of new investors had got into Vechain, they were just leaving, selling up at a loss and moving on. I think now we have done a great bounce so far. If you're looking at the bottom, I mean, you could call that the bottom before we pushed back up and rejected. If you look at how far we recovered so far, from there to there, we've done 160% recovery, which is, it's great to see. And although I think we're going to continue up, at some stage, like, we was looking for a rejection. This area I've highlighted here, this green box, was a key area of weekly resistance. As you can see, we've got quite a few wicks in that region and a rejection out of this region too. And we've pretty much gone up and rejected out of the same area again. It's close to that 15 cent mark. I think 15 cent is a nice area where people would be thinking, looking at selling. So yeah, we've had a cross now on the moving averages. This is a 50 and a 20. Whenever I'm looking for bullish price action, we must be trading above the 50, which is the blue EMA there. And so far, so good. In terms of where we think we could invest, though, I mean, we're close to that 382 level on a fib, and if I'm ever looking for investments, I always target that 382 level or the 618 level. I reckon we could even drop down to 618 level. If you're looking to put some cheeky orders in, for long-term swings, not short-term, I think you could potentially pick some up down here. But what I would do is ladder them all the way from pretty much that moving average 20 there, at around 10.7 cent. I would ladder some down, maybe 3 to 4 orders, all the way down to 8.9 cent. And you may be lucky and may pick some up down at that region. Remember as well, we've got a key area of support down at 7.8 cent. But in my opinion, I don't think we're going to go down there again. But I am expecting that we do get a retracement at some point. We've had a nice top here. We've had a bullish price action up. Now you've got to get that impulsive wave down, pick up some orders, and then push on in the next move. Remember, things can't just go constantly straight up. If we just get going straight up and up and up, and then every man and his dog would be buying one, then we'd all be rich, and I won't be here doing these TA videos. So in my opinion, I think we are hitting a top here. We're going to retrace back down to this region, or even this region. I think any orders within that area are sound, and then we're going to push on. First area of major resistance is here. If we get to this again and break through it, then we're going to go up and target this region here at 19. I think 20 cent would be that first major region which we could target, and then that will be what we'll be doing is then looking at some further price action. So far for me, buy zones are looking more likely they're going to be around this region. But if we do bounce, I mean, if we do bounce off 11 cent and start pushing on, then obviously you got to look at selling here at 14.4 cent. I think that's the first major area. And then just wait out and see if we do get a rejection from there. Because remember, accumulation is king. If you can manage to buy some around here and then sell back up here, you're already making quite a good rise. I mean, if you manage to buy at 618 and sell it there, that's a 60% rise. And a lot of people don't see moves like that. I think if you can accumulate and manage to sell at resistance up here, buy at support, and then keep doing that, and pretty much the entire period of your lifespan in cryptocurrency, if you can keep doing that and selling at resistance, there, and then buying at support here, that will just keep your bags growing and growing. But remember, if you're doing that, especially in the UK, you're pretty much tied into some tax laws, because every sale or every profit you make is subject to tax. So just be wary of that too. So that's that pair pretty much covered, really, the dollar pair. I'm quite bullish on it long term. I mean, I've got quite a big bag, but short term, over the course of the next 3 to 5 weeks, I think we can fill some orders down here. September is notoriously a bearish month. We've had quite a few dumps on Bitcoin, so if that happens, altcoins could follow it down, but it depends where we dump from. If Bitcoin goes up to 51k, you might be looking at Vechain dropping from these levels up here. So let's just see what BTC does. Remember, it's Ghost Month, I believe, or Ghost Day on the 22nd of August, so let's wait out and see what happens there too. Just looking at a money flow indicator too, if down here, this is a Vu Manchu. A few people have been asking. If you double click on it there, VMC, Cypher B divergences. I've pretty much got everything turned off apart from the money flow. And you can see it was in a bearish period there, but we've ticked green to the upside. And for me, this could be a little short-lived bit of green, but ultimately this is going to turn green and we're going to really push on. I'm not going to look at any other time frames other than daily, really. I mean, if you're looking at a 4 hour, it's looking quite bearish. We've had a nice roll over top there, and the same for the hourly. So I'm not going to go too into depth into time frames there. We'll just take a look at a BTC pair in 2, which is currently priced at 262 Satoshi. If you just go back to a daily time frame, this is a little bit of a setup I've got, which has not worked out. As you can see, we've got a bullish cross here on the moving averages, so for me, that could be a good sign. This, what I've set up here, you know, when I just mentioned about buying at support, selling at resistance, that was a potential move there, which has not materialized, but we've broken through that area of resistance. We've popped straight up it, and then we've rejected, and we've come back into this area which was resistance, is now support. We've had that bullish cross, so let's see how this materializes. I mean, we could get a short-lived cross and then get a bearish cross straight away, depending how we react here. But if you're looking for buys on Vechain, and we're looking at Fibonacci levels from the bottom to the top, I've actually used this 382 as support. The next region, if you're looking to buy Vechain, I think it's 233 Satoshis. And I would honestly put some cheeky orders in case BTC goes on a crazy run. That will take it out in dominance. This will then come down to this price, I reckon, at about 163 Satoshis, but that's over the course of the next month or two. What I will do is I'm going to try and do a weekly update on Vechain now, so if you like Vechain, then smash that like button and subscribe to this channel, because I will be doing more Vechain videos going forward. I'm not going to look at any price targets there, but what I'm going to do is just jump back to this. And in terms of price predictions, for me, I've heard a lot of people calling $1. I think $1 this run might be slightly out of the question. If you just look at this, where we are now up to $1, that's 820%. I'm more in favour of looking around 75% or around 500% move if this bull run does start to push on, which I really do expect it is. So I'm looking at around between 60 to 75 cent, I reckon, towards the end of this year. So that's my prediction there and my thoughts on Vechain. If you're new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.